Lancashire Police have some really difficult questions to answer. It's time now for an independent inquiry. This is about regaining what they've lost, which is trust and confidence. My name is Nusrat Mehtab. I'm a former Met Superintendent. Well, it's real tragic, isn't it, that there were 3 searches and nothing was found, including a private search company, but they weren't given all the information about the vulnerabilities. Had they been given that information, maybe the result would have been different. They would have increased their parameters, they would have searched underneath the reed, so it could have resulted in something more different, and giving that information out would have assisted the investigation. It's not about mistakes or criticism, it's about future learning. I know a lot of people become defensive and come out and say that Lancashire Police have done a really good job. They have done a really good job. However, there are certain concerns, to the point that the Prime Minister, Home Secretary and the Commissioner for the Information have all commented on this. Their communication strategy. They held a press conference when she first went missing on the 27th. Then on the 3rd of February, they were asked a direct question about vulnerabilities. They said there wasn't any. They talked about a hypothesis, which was that she'd walked or fallen into the river. Police have a multiple hypotheses until one is proven, and they have a working hypothesis. So they could have handled that well in terms of what they said, because when they gave the first hypothesis, it just fueled more speculation. Secondly, it's their messaging. The level of detail or lack of detail in the messaging, that really has to be looked at. Third thing I would say is the relationship with the media, in terms of how they interacted with the media, what information they gave the media, and how they could have had a better relationship. In that point is also about social media, because it seems to me that they didn't really grip what was going on social media. In any investigation, there's always a media strategy, including keeping an overview of social media. But in this particular case, I feel that social media kind of dictated where the investigation went, and it seems like it was perhaps derailed because they didn't manage that very well. I think it's in crisis. I think trust and confidence has really been knocked over what we've seen with Wayne Couzens, with Carrick, and different stories coming out. And I think, particularly the Met is in particularly bad state because they're in special measures. So a lot more work needs to be done in reassuring the communities in terms of how we move forward. So I think the trust and confidence really has to be built again, and it starts with not being defensive. This isn't about attacking the police. This is about building trust and confidence. This is about learning and embedding lessons that come out of the case of Nicola Bulley and other cases to be able to move forward really positively. My heart goes out to the family. What must they be feeling? And somewhere along the line, I think, the family got lost in this. There was so much derailment of this. And I think everybody, the media, the public and the police, can learn from this. How must the family be feeling with everything that's gone on, from releasing that information, which I believe was released with the family's consent. But still, there's a family in the middle of this. There's 2 little girls in the middle of this. Lancashire Police have some really difficult questions to answer, and they can't be defensive about it. They have to be open and transparent and actually deal with that criticism. In terms of missing the body or not finding Nicola sooner, I think that that's going to have to take real scrutiny. It's time now for an independent inquiry, and that independent inquiry should look at absolutely every aspect of this. I know Lancashire Police are doing their own review, but I think that review really is marking your own homework, and that review won't increase trust and confidence, because this is about regaining what they've lost, which is trust and confidence. So for me, an independent review, and the lessons need to be embedded.